Welcome back to the channel. Now, yesterday I reported on Donald Trump putting a freeze on federal assistance, loans, grants, even some direct assistance. Even though a memo went out yesterday stating that things like, the food stamps or Medicaid, things like that weren't going to be affected, they were being affected. Things like Head Start were affected. A number of states, if not all the states, came out and said that they weren't able to access Medicaid funds to pay doctors. They weren't able to access funds for Head Start. And several state agencies across the country came out and complained about this. And thanks to the noise made by the American people and by the people that run these agencies, they have rescinded that order. People will be able to be getting their assistance for next month for sure, as it is right now. The White House has decided they're not going to go ahead with this freeze. Probably because they realized not only would it, not only were they getting complaints by the American people, but they probably had a lot of states point out, hey, wait a minute. If you do this, people aren't going to eat. People aren't going to be able to have a home. And what's going to happen when people have no hope? Right? When they lose their home because they can't afford their rent without rental assistance, or they can't afford to eat and feed their children. Right? What's going to happen? You're going to have riots in the streets. Exactly. So luckily for people, this has been rescinded. Finally, one time. Don't expect this to happen very often during the Trump administration. But the Trump administration backed off of this one, and they said they're not going to do it. Now we'll see what they do later on. Going later on this year, right? See what they try to do. But right now we're in good shape. If you're going to receive assistance or you're on Medicaid, I think this is a really good thing for you. Now, I still suggest that you stock up on whatever medications you can, get the most, get your prescriptions filled for as many months as your state Medicaid allows if you're on Medicaid. Make sure you're getting everything you need. Make sure you got a few months supply, maybe, if you can get multiple months. Depending on some states, you can get up to 90 days, and some states you can't. So do be careful with that. Now, Donald Trump is doing a lot of other stuff out there. There's a lot of other stuff going on, and I'm going to cover it later this week. I'm just not in a place to be able to cover some of these issues just this second. After last week, I'm completely exhausted from this administration. It's only been 1 week in, and I'm already just completely disillusioned with the entire American experience at this point. But I do plan to cover other things like banning transgender people from the military, banning transgender access to health care, and gender-affirming care. We'll talk about that tomorrow or Friday. I'm not sure if those will be two separate videos or if I'll contain them all into one. I guess we will see. But unfortunately, this is the kind of world we're living in right now. We're living in America where things don't make sense from day to day. But remember, in 2017, Trump took office and did some of the same stuff. Right? They did a lot of the same things. Just sowed chaos, created problems for people, and sadly, it's just what we have. It's what the American people voted for, apparently. Also, later this week, expect some discussions over the immigrant raids and the mass deportations. Anyhow, I'll see you down the road. Y'all have a great day.